action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI news video. And today concluded the Hasbro Pulse Virtual Convention, the 2-day event. And for today we got reveals for G.I. Joe, Transformers, Power Rangers, and Ghostbusters. Now, today's reveals, it was kind of a mixed bag. G.I. Joe, as far as the reveals themselves go, I thought stole the day. But, of course, with everything G.I. Joe related these days, there always seems to be the good news and the bad news. So let's go over the good news portion. Today, during their panel, it was the first panel that kicked things off. They revealed 4 new classified figures, 2 of which are regular releases, so that's definitely a good thing. So the first figure as part of the regular release that they showed us was the Zartan figure. And I've got to say, this figure looks amazing to me. You know, it's very much reminiscent of his original look. However, you know, you can take his hood off, so if you prefer like the bald look of the character, you can actually go with that. You also, he has a backpack that's almost identical to the one that the original figure, the original 80s toy had, and it opens up like the original one and has the same kind of mask in it, which is very cool. It does not have, the figure does not feature color changing ability, which is a little disappointing. But, you know, I probably wouldn't run out on a regular basis and throw my figure in the sunlight, you know, like you used to do with the old figure. So that's not a big deal to me. He doesn't come with a swamp skier, which, you know, we pretty much knew that wasn't going to be the case. Yeah, I could see them re-releasing one down the road, kind of like they did with the Baroness and the bike. I could see them doing Zartan with the skier. Hopefully it won't be a Target exclusive, but unfortunately probably would be if they went that route. We did actually see a Zartan listed in the Target systems a while back. However, there was no like vehicle or anything listed with it, so I don't think it was like a special Target exclusive version. But, you know, you never know. Oh, and then Zartan also comes with a pistol, which again is very much in keeping with the pistol that the original figure came with. And then he also comes with an alternate pair of hands and a knife. And then besides Zartan, as part of Wave 3, they are releasing a Cobra Trooper. So this is just a variant of the previous Cobra Trooper that we got. You don't get the extra rifle or the little thing that you can put on his sleeve, which I think is supposed to be for an increased rank. So if you do have the Target one, you can make that your squad commander, and then the others your just your normal troops. But it is the same figure as far as I can tell. Paint decos are a little bit different. You've got basically some darker blues. The web gear that he's wearing is a dark blue as opposed to black, which I actually like. I think that actually looks better. It looks more Cobra-like in my opinion. So, you know, I think even though they're pretty close to the same, I actually kind of like this new one a little bit better. So you would almost think like Hasbro was saying, oh, we're sorry about the whole Target thing. You know, here's the Cobra Trooper that so many of you have been trying to get. It's now a regular release. You can pre-order at any place, which these figures are up for pre-order now. You can get them at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. They're slated with, I believe Big Bad has them listed with a March release date. So at the beginning of the year at some point. But no sooner did they announce those 2 figures than they essentially gave us a kick to the virtual groin, as they announced that they are doing 2 more Target exclusive figures, part of the Special Missions Cobra Island subline. So just like before, you know, they went up for pre-order today, and of course, because Target does nothing to stop the scalper bots, you know, they literally sold out before they even were listed on the website. I think they were listed on the app like a second or 2 before they were on the website, and so the bots got them, and they really didn't even make it up on the website before they were sold out. So they're gone, the pre-orders at least. Now Target is listing these with the January 1st release date, so I'm assuming that at some point they will be relisted, at least as in stock. Again, they'll sell out in seconds unless Target ever makes changes to their website, which I seriously doubt they're going to. But again, the pre-order sold out, and really nobody I saw was able to get one, just like before. I'm sure the scalpers will be throwing them up on eBay before, well, probably already as I'm talking to you. But I would not buy them on eBay. You know, I would just walk away from them if you can't get them, if you can't end up finding them at Target. And of course, we're probably going to have to play the same games we did before. You know, Target's got these listed with a January 1st. But you know the stores will probably start getting them in before then, probably in December. And then, of course, you get to play the game of what Target will put them out early. Can you ask the people to go about in the back and get them? Will they bring it out? All the rigmarole that we went through with the previous wave. I'm sure we're going to have to go through this again. Now, hopefully, like with the Cobra Trooper, hopefully they'll at least re-release the Cobra Viper down the road in a future regular wave, with some slight variations. I think that's a strong possibility. But, of course, like Firefly is a major Cobra character, so, just like Beachhead was in the previous wave. So will those be re-released? I really don't know. Very frustrating, though. I'm right there with you. I wanted to get these figures, but obviously, I got the last Target wave, but it was a pain in the ass. And I have, little doubt that these two figures are going to be any different. So, Hasbro is going to keep doing these Target exclusives no matter how much we complain online. They make money that way. Target pays for these exclusives. So there's no way they're going to stop doing these Target exclusives. And then, like I said, I seriously doubt Target's really going to do anything to fortify their website from these scalper bots, because, and quite honestly, this works to their advantage, because you're going to start running into the stores on a daily basis when word starts to hit that they're hitting stores. You're going to run in there. You're not going to find them probably, but you're going to run in there and you're going to check, and some of you are going to literally check on an everyday basis. That's how it goes, and that's what they want. That's what they do these exclusives for. It's not because they think they're going to make a lot of money from the exclusives themselves. They're just literally trying to get you through the door with the idea that once you're there, you're going to buy something else. So I don't see any end to this. I could sit here and tell you quit supporting the big box retailers, quit buying your figures at those places altogether, and maybe Hasbro and Target and Walmart would get the message that way, but I know that would fall on deaf ears, and it's just not a reality. Just like I tell you, don't buy from scalpers. I know there's going to be people who just don't feel like dealing with it, and they'll just pay the money and be done with it. So, that's where we are. For the regular figures, the regular figures are going to be hard to get at retail as well. The Zartan and Cobra Trooper when they come to Target and Walmart, which will probably be before the retailers do. But my advice on those is just pre-order them. Get as many as you want. You can army build that Cobra Trooper, like I talked about yesterday with the Marvel Legend Hand Ninja. These e-tailers and comic book shops and such, they can do solid case orders. The Walmarts and Targets won't do that. They could if they wanted to, but they don't. They won't, for whatever reason, they won't order solid cases. So, but you got to go to the small guy to do that. They will do that happily for you, and they will fill your armies, and you can do it hassle-free. The one minor downside, unfortunately, is you probably will have to wait a little bit longer, but there you go. Now, besides G.I. Joe Classified, they also announced some new retro figures, the 3 3/4 inch Walmart exclusive figures that are on the card backs that are reminiscent of the original toy line. These use the more modern 25th anniversary type sculpts. We'd seen the Wave 2 figures we had seen. They had hit overseas, and so we've seen the images. We knew what those were, which, just to recap, is Destro, which has like a new head sculpt and everything. Cool rifle, which breaks apart, has the briefcase. So that's definitely a cool figure. It's not, for me, I have the 25th anniversary figures. I always show, but, that whole back wall up there on those white shelves, those are all 25th anniversary figures. So there's not enough difference with these that I plan on buying most of these. But like the Scarlet, I actually don't like the Scarlet at all. I don't like this head sculpt. I think it looks off, so I have no interest in that one. I definitely think the 25th anniversary Scarlet looks better than this one. Even though, and I understand, I think they were trying to base it off the card art for the original figure. But honestly, that's like the ugliest Scarlet I've ever seen. That original card art. I don't know what happened there, but I remember as a kid thinking, oh my God, she looks horrible in that card art. So it probably wasn't the best reference to use for an action figure. But there you go. And then we got Roadblock, which does have a new head sculpt. Looks pretty good. Just to me, just not worth. It's just not enough of a difference to buy it again. Now, one thing they did announce, which we had not seen before, which I actually did get for myself, these are up for pre-order at Walmart.com, and as I'm filming this right now, they are actually still available. So Walmart actually looks like is maybe learning from their mistakes. I don't know, but nevertheless, the fourth thing that they announced for the retro line is the new Cobra Fang helicopter, which is it's a new sculpted helicopter. It's not just a reissue of the previous one. I mean, it looks very similar to the previous one, the original one, but it does have new sculpting parts to it. Again, not that alone isn't enough for me to want to get it. I have the last Fang that they released, a couple years ago. I still have that one. I love the Fang. I think it's a great helicopter. It's just that if it was the helicopter alone, I really wouldn't bother with it. But what got me on this one, the reason why I pre-ordered this one, is the new figure. It comes with a new pilot figure. The original toy did not come with a figure. It's one of the few original vehicles that actually didn't come with figures. They had, later on with later releases, they started doing figures with it, but this is actually a new design figure, a new pilot. So that's really why I picked this one up. If they start doing new figures in this line, I definitely would be more interested. If they just re-release the same ones that we've already gotten, even with slight modifications, probably not many of these retro figures I'm going to bother with. But this one, like I said, they got me. It cost $30, or actually it cost $25, so it's not even terribly expensive. And again, all these retro figures are currently available for pre-order. Okay, next up, let's move on to Ghostbusters. So they didn't have a whole lot for Ghostbusters. I really wasn't expecting a whole lot. I think Ghostbusters is pretty much on hold until the movie, gets back on track. It's been delayed with COVID and everything. So I think pretty much everything that they have planned for this line is going to be, moving forward as movie related. Now, they did have two reveals for Ghostbusters today. One is a role-play type item. It's a Nerf type gun, the Ghost Popper, which is based on an original Kenner toy. So they're redoing that, and that is a Walmart exclusive, or at least that's where they said it was going up for pre-order. And then the second thing they revealed today is actually is based on the new movie. It is a Plasma Series Ecto-1 vehicle. Now, here's the thing about this. Again, it is based on the new movie, so it's made to look older than the original Ecto-1 from the original movies. It's got rust on it and things like that. So keep that in mind. It does open up. It's got details. It looks like you can put figures in there. But it does not look like it's actually scaled for 6-inch figures. Even though they're calling it part of the Plasma line, I don't think this is actually going to fit your 6-inch figures. I might be wrong. They didn't show figures with it. They didn't specifically say whether it would or wouldn't, but it just looked too small to me to be able to hold 6-inch figures. It looked more like it was in scale for like 4-inch figures. So, and even this is a Target exclusive, and again, the scalper bots have already cleaned this one out as well in seconds. So it costs $50. And there's no description on the Target website of whether it's actually made for 6-inch figures, but I'm going to assume that it's not. And I'm almost kind of thinking maybe they have some type of 4-inch action figure line planned for the new movie, and that's what this is really made for, that we'll see at a later date. I don't know. Again, they do have it listed under the Plasma series, but just it did not look like it was something in scale with 6-inch figures. They had a real quick Zoids panel this morning, which they gave us a few more details on the line. I talked about these the other day. They were announced, and we saw some images for some of the figures. Zoids is a classic toy line. It's based on robots. It's a buildable type toy line. And with it, they announced, so first of all, they announced that there's going to be an animated series coming to Netflix, which explains why they're bringing the toys back. And there's also going to be a video game released on the Nintendo Switch. So definitely some entertainment properties are going to be backing up this toy line. Now with it, they're doing kind of like they do with Transformers, where they're breaking up the figures into 3 different size categories. So there's going to be Beta, Mega, and Giga. Giga is the biggest, and Beta is the smallest. Now all of these do have motorized features. However, with the Beta, the smaller ones, they're wind up. The other 2 sizes, other 2 classes, the motorized is battery powered, so you get the batteries and it'll move on its own. But with the Beta, again, it's just wind up. Now these are going up for pre-order today. I haven't checked around, but they showed off again they showed off the 2 figures that they're starting off with. They're said to have Wild Blast Attack, which is a feature I guess you see in the animated series. So I'm not up on Zoids. It's not something I ever collected. It was an original toy line put out by Tommy. Just like with Transformers, this line has its roots overseas and then was brought over briefly into this country. But Hasbro's bringing it back, and like I said, with the cartoon, if that does well, I would expect this line to flourish. If the cartoon bombs, then we probably won't see a whole lot from it going forward. For the Power Rangers panel, so we got a rumor confirmed. I talked about these previously, that they were going to start doing deluxe figures for the Lightning Collection line, similar to what we've seen with both Star Wars and Marvel Legends. So that rumor has been confirmed. Now they're officially calling these deluxe figures, they're part of what is their Monsters line. So with the two that they're doing the King Sphinx character and the Pumpkin Rapper, which is, I don't follow Power Rangers that much, but Pumpkin Rapper definitely looks like a cool figure. Now, they didn't have the actual figures on hand. They just had digital renders of them. So, you know, this is kind of our first look at these. But again, this was something that had been rumored. The figures are going to be these deluxe figures are going to be about 7 inches tall. So it does put them taller than the regular 6-inch Power Ranger figures. And probably going to cost in the neighborhood of $30. They didn't give a price during the panel, but that's how much like the Marvel Legends and Star Wars deluxe figures cost. So I'm going to assume that's probably what the price range on these is going to be. And these are not yet up for pre-order yet. They went on and confirmed the Wave 7 figures. So I talked yesterday in yesterday's video, I told you that Wave 7 had leaked out. I didn't really go into details in the video. We did post up about the leaks on TNI the other day. The leaks came via I think their Canadian CMD store had put them up. Now, according to Hasbro, these are going up today on Entertainment Earth. I don't know if that means these are Entertainment Earth exclusives. I kind of find that hard to believe. I think Entertainment Earth is just getting first dibs on them. But with the Wave, I'll just go over it real quick. It's the Dino Thunder Red Ranger. You're getting the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger Green Ranger. And you get the, you know, unhelmeted head sculpts with these. You're getting the Mighty Morphin Z Putty figure. So this differs from the previous Putty Man figure that they've done, basically with the big Z on it and everything. You get some blast effects. So it is different from the one they did with like the 2-pack and stuff. So that's good. And then the final figure in this wave is just a repack of the White Ranger. Now, besides the regular versions of these, Hasbro's taking a page from the Black Series, and like with their carbonized figures they do with Star Wars, these they're calling Spectrum series, so they're a hologram type packaging. They're black as opposed to white, and it is essentially just the Wave 7 figures so far that they're doing. And these are Target store exclusives. I did not check and see if these have been cleaned out yet by the scalper bots, but probably have. Taking another page from Star Wars and their various other brands, they are doing retro figures. So these are coming on classic type card backs. These will be Walmart exclusives. And these are based on those transforming Power Rangers. I forget the exact title of those, but I remember Bandai redid these figures shortly before they lost the license. So, you know, we have actually seen these on these types of figures on shelves fairly recently. But Hasbro's bringing them back as part of a retro line. And again, these are going to be offered. It's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and these are going to be Walmart exclusives. For the final reveal today, they announced for Zeo, Power Rangers Zeo, a new Megazord. This is going to have 5 battle helmets, belt buckle, and wings, fairly decent size, and I do believe this is going to be available everywhere. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. There was one other reveal. They also revealed another variant line for the Lightning Collection. It's called Metallic Armor Up figures. So these figures, you know, they've got like glitter and things like that. The first figure they showed, the only figure they showed, even though I believe they're going to do this with all the Power Ranger figures, or at least the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger figures, is the Pink Ranger. And the other thing to note about this, the figure in this line, is she's got a new head sculpt, a new unmasked head sculpt. And according to them, this is the first and, you know, improved unmasked head sculpt that they're doing. They're incorporating new scanning technologies to improve their head sculpts. They've heard your complaints, and like I said, you'll start seeing this improved technology used on all their figures across the board, but this is the first one that gets that treatment. And this one is going to be sold as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive and should be up for pre-order now. Okay, and then finally we had some Transformer reveals. Not as many as I would have liked, and most of this stuff we had actually seen kind of leak out already. But I'm just going to go over it real quick with you guys. So for Transformer Prime, if you're a Transformer Prime fan, you're actually, you know, some cool reveals for you. So first of all, they're doing, for the 10th anniversary, they are doing, and I believe these were never released in the United States, these versions, but I believe these were overseas. So Hasbro's bringing them over. So first of all, we're getting Hades Megatron, which I think actually looks really good. And then the second is a 2-pack featuring Breakdown and a Viacon. So I actually like that Viacon design. That's actually pretty cool. So these, I believe, are Hasbro Pulse exclusives, and I believe up for pre-order now. They also announced for their Transformers War for Cybertron a Galactic Odyssey collection figure. It's a 2-pack featuring Biosphere, I think that's how you pronounce it, Autobot Clones. So again, this is a 2-pack, essentially with 2 figures. One looks like transforms into a jet, and the other a little race car. I'm assuming this is based on something that's previously been done, but it's not something I'm terribly familiar with. For the red line, this is the 6-inch line, the Marvel Legends type line of Transformers that don't actually transform. These are Walmart exclusives, and they announced 2 more figures for the line. Now these are, I believe these are our first non-G1 characters that they're doing. So once again, for you Prime fans, we are getting RC in this line. So I think this is also our first female figure for this line. And then the second figure that they revealed is Beast Wars. Is a Beast Wars figure, which is Cheetor. So again, these don't actually transform. The idea of these is they're highly articulated, and you don't get all the kibble that you normally get with a Transformer figure that transforms. So if you just like their robot modes, you know, even though these aren't really in scale with anything because they're just 6-inch figures, but if you're not into transforming your Transformers and you like articulated figures, you know, I've seen some people say they like it for their desk or something, which I kind of get that. You know, you might pick up a few of these. And of course, these are Walmart exclusives, so I don't know how easily these are going to be able to actually get. But you know, like I said, they are continuing the line, and they're expanding out beyond G1. And then finally, we got some Kingdom reveals. And so this is their next thing that they're doing with the main Transformer line, and it's essentially where they're not mash up, but they're basically joining Beast Wars and G1. So they showed off some really cool artwork featuring the characters facing off with one another. And you know, we had seen some of these figures already. I talked about 3 of these in one of the previous videos this week. So the Rat Trap figure, which is listed as a core figure, the Cheetor figure, which is listed as a deluxe figure, and then the Cyclonus figure. The first 2 were Beast Wars, and the Cyclonus is G1. So we had seen those previously. Oh, and Megatron, which is a leader class, the Beast Wars Megatron, the dinosaur, we had seen that one as well. But for new reveals, or at least reveals that hadn't actually, I think maybe some of these have leaked out. I'm not sure. I don't follow the Transformer leaks nearly as closely as other things. But for official reveals today, we're getting a G1 Optimus Prime, which is a core, so it's a smaller Optimus Prime. We are getting Vertebrake Fossilizer. I'm not familiar with that one, but he's a core. We're getting Black Arachnia, which is definitely a nice looking figure. One of the nicest reveals I thought today. Even though I'm not a Beast Wars fan, I definitely thought the detail in this one was good. It's a deluxe figure. My favorite of the day was Warpath, so another G1 character. So to go along with like Cliff Jumper and stuff, you know, I like to see the mini bots. It'd be cool if we got, I'd rather probably see more of the like Gears and Huffer and those guys before we start seeing the second round. But, you know, I definitely like Warpath, yeah, and maybe we'll get a new Power Glide to go along with them. So we'll just have to see. Next one's not another one I'm not really familiar with. Palotrex, I think is how you pronounce it. Another fossilizer. It's a deluxe class. I guess fossilizer means they're like bone or something. I don't know. And then Optimus Primal, from Beast Wars, which is going to be a Voyager class, which if you're a Beast Wars fan, you're probably excited for. And then of course they showed the packaging for these, which was pretty nice. And then finally, the final thing for Transformers today, they announced their Hall of Fame winners. Every year they induct stuff into their Transformer Hall of Fame. And this year for Earthrise, the toy Skylynx was inducted. Seems kind of early for Earthrise to be inducted, but oh well. And then Transformers Prime character Knockout was inducted. And finally, probably the most deserving, voice actor Greg Berger, who I'm sure most of you know voiced Grimlock in the original G1 Transformers. He was inducted today as well. So congratulations to him, and of course the toys as well. And that's it. You know, like I said, very exciting day and frustrating day, especially for G.I. Joe fans. I know everybody's upset about the Target stuff. I'm right there with you. Anyway, share your thoughts down below. What were you excited about for the entire weekend? Stay safe out there. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and until next time, Catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.